Here's today's virtual warm-up. We're gonna keep going with these 81 squats. I'm not gonna have you do those right now. Keep exploring these corners of the ankles, feet, and hips. Once we finish the 81 squats, we're gonna go into a sumo stance and we're gonna do shuttles. We're just gonna be sliding left to right into a side lunge, opening up those adductors, opening up the groin area, and keeping that ankle, opening up that ankle, closing that ankle down, keeping that heel down on the ground. Good. Now stay in that stance. Now I just want you to do some squats and try to get as deep as you can, keeping the feet down. I know we've done a bunch of movements like this in the 81s, and we'll just keep moving that around. Good. Now we'll hit some upper body warm up, and we're gonna start off with these big arm circles. And the coaching point is I want the core tight and glutes squeezed. I don't want any movement. There's gonna be some, but I don't want a lot of movement coming from the torso. We're just really trying to hammer in on this actual shoulder capsule. We're gonna go big circles. So we're starting up with thumb, going back. Once you get about to your head area to overhead position, flip the thumb down and reach. Bring it back to that pocket. Really reach far back towards that wall without turning your torso. We're gonna go forward and we'll go backwards also, or backwards and then forward in this case. And we'll keep that thumb action the same. So when he gets to the overhead position, we want this thumb turned backwards, pointing towards the wall, and then bring it down. Good. Once you've done that on both sides, we're gonna take a band and we're gonna get 10 overhead band pull aparts, really engaging the lats, pulling from the lats, using the scapula, big squeeze, big motion. Good, there's today's virtual warm-up.
Welcome to week 3, day 3 of our virtual training circuit. I am joined by Mr. Zach Karen. With that said, our upper body and lower body are gonna focus on 2 things. With the lower body, keeping you pulled in, so all of our training is gonna be from a sumo type position. Why is that important? It's important because as a football player and athletics in general, we have to learn how to play on the mid part of our foot. And the adductors, your groin area, is gonna play a significant role in doing so. Secondarily, with the upper body, the traps. We play a collision sport. The traps, other than looking great in a t-shirt, they're gonna help us stabilize the neck, and that is critical as we continue to move back towards preparing to play. So we're gonna start with traditional rubber band, and Z here is gonna put it at the base of the feet, double grab it, and it's like a Zerker type squat, but this is gonna be a sumo squat position. Zerker meaning putting the band into the crease of the elbows. And we're gonna knock out a couple of reps here. We wanna feel as if we're pulling the ground back together as we get to the top. That's good right there, Z. Now we'll drop the band and go right into a lateral lunge. We wanna get both hips moving. Let's face the camera. And again, here we're gonna drive away and get a good stretch on that opposite leg. Now we're gonna stay right here facing the camera and get dynamic. We're gonna get up tall, drop into it. Boom, right there. One more time. Good. Here's the deal with this movement. You don't wanna fall into the movement. You wanna feel as if you're pulling yourself down. Try one more time. Pull yourself into the movement. Good, one more is great. And the opposite way. Great, now let's move on to the upper body. Now, we're gonna do a basic upright row. So put the feet in, and let's, for the sake of the camera, let's face this right here. We're gonna get really tall. With the band, good. Think about driving the elbows past the ears. Now we wanna get dynamic. And now we gotta catch it, because remember, we play a dynamic sport. Wanna catch it right along the belly button is where you wanna catch it at. Don't let it get past that. We wanna learn how to create stiffness in that upper trap region. Nice job. Now we're gonna move on to some single arm movements with the band. It's gonna be a single arm row. And what's cool about this movement is this. Yes, it's a single arm movement that's gonna focus on the back and it's a pull, yeah, that's great. But you're gonna feel this across the lower body or across that, what they call the transverse plane of the core, which is where as young athletes and old athletes as well, it stops us from getting twisted. So what you're gonna wanna do here naturally is rotate into the pull. Let's give an example of what that would look like when it's incorrect. There it is right there. Let's face the camera one time for that. You're gonna wanna, again, rotate into the pull. That's not what you want. Think about keeping your shoulders going forward, nice and flat with a good pull. Now we're gonna stay here and get dynamic with it. We're gonna roll into it and then drop, and drop, and drop. Good, as you can see here, again, watch the wrist. He's getting a bit of a corkscrew motion because he's creating stability at the shoulder, which is gonna help you keep your shoulders and hips in line. Good, nice job, Z. With all that being said, that is today's virtual training circuit.
Welcome to Virtual Mobility today. Today we're focusing on the low back. We're focusing on the gut. Right? Everybody has low back stiffness, right? We always want to be breathing well, so we're going to focus on that today. So we're going to have the athlete just get on down on his back. Again, right, as normal, we got a baseball, or you can use a racquetball, you can use the tennis ball. What he's going to do is, he's going to lay down on he's going to right above his upper butt cheek, all right? He's gonna place that ball. We got our feet on the ground. Right now, we just got them bent. All right, take some stress off of the low back. If you got a couch, you can go ahead and allow your feet to lay on the couch if you want to. All we're gonna do is just sit down here and just allow this ball to kind of melt into this low back here, right? And all we're doing is trying to help with the stiffness of the low back. And a lot of times you're sitting around a lot, maybe sit on the couch, sit at a desk or whatnot. This is a good way to alleviate some of that low back tightness and that stiffness. So we'll be on the right side. Right, we're also gonna have him contract, relax as normal. We're not doing any flossing, but we're just gonna have him contract into the ball, and the way he's doing that is really engaging that core. Good, and he's gonna relax. Do it again. So we get about 3 of those, right? We'll probably go about 30 seconds to a minute, maybe a little bit more based off of the individual, and we'll go right side and go left side. We're just gonna do right side for this particular video. Good, now we're gonna stay right there. Now, of course, some people still have low back tight, low back still tight, it's still stiff, even through movement. So now we're gonna add some movement into this low back alleviating type of mobility here. So he's gonna take both knees, right? You got your feet about hip width apart. All he's gonna do is sway back and forth. So allow that right leg to collapse down, bring it on back to the left. Good, just getting some movement in there, right? And that's just gonna add some slack to the whole system, right? If you really think about the low back, it's kind of the midpoint of the whole chain, right? From the toes up and the head down. We can loosen up the low back, takes off stress off of every other part of the body. Good, so we'll get about 10 of those sways. We'll do about 3 rounds of that. I'm just gonna do one side for this particular video. So come on up out of it. Now we're gonna roll over, face down. We got a football here, right? Just average everyday football. It's not fully pumped up. You don't want something that's really pumped up. If you got a basketball or something, that could work as well. But this works for what we're trying to get done. So it's not really pumped up. We're gonna give him this ball. We're gonna go right at the belly button, right in the diaphragm right there, right in the middle of the stomach, like right below the rib cage, but above kind of the pelvis. Good, and when you lay on this ball, honestly, it's probably not gonna feel too great in the beginning. So I want you to just lay there for a little bit and just try to breathe. Just try to breathe, allow your brain to kind of send some signals to the body that, hey, everything's A-okay. All right, then what we're gonna do is go back to our contract, relax. So now I want you to contract into the ball, so you're gonna really engage that core into the ball, then relax. Good, give me about 3 of those. Engage into it, relax. One more, last one, engage into it, relax. And what you'll notice is everything should be relaxing, right? Everything should be kind of winding down. You maybe feel like you're getting a little tired. Now just allow your stomach to just kind of mold around that ball and just try to focus on good breathing, good deep breathing through the diaphragm. Good, so we're gonna do right at the belly button, then we'll go left at the belly button. Video purposes, we're not gonna do the left right now, but that's your virtual mobility for today.